Hey everyone! So today I wanted to talk to you about the RTX 5000 series launch, and quite possibly I wanted to add some of my thoughts as to why the launch went the way it was. So in order to unpack this whole situation, I think it is important to highlight that NVIDIA and its GeForce line aren't strictly gaming GPUs. Or at least they haven't been since, I would say, GeForce 3 era. Well, maybe not specifically the GeForce 3, but the era where the shaders and vertex programming was introduced. It was back then where people realized that using those small programs you can use the GPUs to solve general computing problems, not only rendering or rasterization ones. NVIDIA very quickly picked up on that and has introduced the CUDA architecture. I won't really be getting into too much detail, but just so you know, it's a way to easily access the raw computing power of a GPU with a programmable interface. It is no secret that NVIDIA makes most of its money selling data center grade GPUs for both HPC and AI workloads. And if we know those two factors, I am surprised why most commentators haven't picked up on the fact that those GPUs are no longer strictly gaming GPUs. So if you know that, I am well convinced that you cannot benchmark or rate those products without always mentioning that or taking that into consideration. From what I saw, many commentators or reviewers are puzzled as to why those cards are priced as they are, while they are not really bringing much in gains of performance uplift in games, and people still buy them. The RTX series cards cost way lower than any kind of data center grade GPUs. And that's pretty much it. So like I said many times now, those are no longer gaming cards. People buy those cards and build workstations and then use them in their universities or at their jobs. It's way cheaper to buy 4090 or 5090 compared to L40S, for example. People don't realize how many workloads you can actually run on desktop GPUs. If I have to buy a workstation for myself in order to do some AI work or some light model training or maybe some RAG testing or stuff like that, or maybe if I just want to inference some AI models, I don't necessarily need a data center grade H100 or A100. I would be very happy with 4090 or 4080, even if they don't have ludicrous amounts of RAM. Typically if you want to look at data center GPUs, they have 80 gigs of VRAM, 40 gigs of VRAM. This is nowhere close to, let's say, 4090, but very often you don't really need those 80 gigs in order to run some simple stuff, or in order to have performance gains in your scientific software. So I guess what I wanted to say is that I would like to see major reviewers and media outlets consider more the fact that those GPUs are actually used for work. I would love to see more AI benchmarks. It would be very interesting to have the 5090 reviewed as it's performing in games, but also how good it is at inferencing AI models or maybe training them. Same goes for 5080, 5070 Ti. Maybe then it will become clear as to why those cards are priced as they are and are still selling like hot cupcakes. So this is something that I've actually checked, albeit very quickly and not very thoroughly. So there are some benchmarks that measure the performance of let's say 4090 compared to data center grade GPUs. And I mean, look at it. It clearly says that the 4090 is more performant than 4 times more expensive L40S. Obviously, not only gamers would want to buy the 4090. In that case, the game benchmarks, the 3, 4, 5% uplifts don't matter, because even if that card provides not as much performance improvement as you would typically see during those tests, it's cheaper than an actual professional big boy grade GPU. And obviously, if you are a company and you are building, let's say, AI workstations, if you can choose to buy $2,000 and $10,000 GPU for your workstation, and the $2,000 one is still somewhat similar in performance or maybe even outperforming the 10K one, obviously you will buy the $2,000 GPU and you won't be bothered by the 200, 300 price variation. It's still significantly cheaper. So yeah, like I said, I would love to see more professional testing being done on those cards, not only games. Some AI workloads, maybe some other frameworks that are used for specific tasks in science, let's say. And maybe then we would have a better overview of the whole GPU situation that is happening at the moment. So I guess that's it for now. And if you have your own thoughts, be sure to leave a comment.